Good morning. I want to thank Representative Potter. Give him a big hand. Our Senator, our Senior Senator, Margaret Rose Henry, Liz Allen, Dr. McDowell, Representative J.J. Johnson, who chairs a key committee in the legislature on this issue. I'm happy to be with our county exec, Tom Gordon and Sam Guy on this panel. We are at a critical juncture in the life of our state. We all have some knowledge and awareness of the problems as it relates to this issue of incarceration, restoration, and now pending legislation. It is important that we embrace this legislation because this legislation can be a game changer wherein it is a law, not just an event, but a law that will transform our cities, our communities, and specifically those who are hurting. There's a trend in this country where those who are sick and in poverty have become criminalized. Listen to what I just said. There's a trend in this country. It started with 3 strikes and you're out. And now you've seen the evolution and the failure of the war on drugs. We need to have a war on treatment. We need to have a war on transformation. We need to have a war on family restoration. And so as a pastor of the Canaan Baptist Church, as chairman of the Delaware Black Caucus, and as council president, along with all of those who are up here and those who are out there who will speak later, we must guarantee that this legislation becomes law and put all of our resources and our weight and our influence behind this legislation in the House and in the Senate. And when it gets to the governor's desk, we must demand that he signs it. For too long, we've been too silent about too many things. Too silent about too many things. And I'm really interested in this, Tom, because where there's a problem, the Chinese proverb said, where there's a problem, if you flip it over, there's an opportunity. This is an opportunity to do something transformational and to address the pain that is so loud, but yet we've been too silent. This legislation is legislation that will make a difference. And we need to ensure that it moves through the Senate and the House and ends up on the governor's desk. And we support this legislation. Secondly, I encourage all of the community activists, let's continue to put the pressure on those who cannot see this as a transformational opportunity, but are stuck in the past. Delaware must come up to the 21st century as it relates to legislation that makes a difference in the lives of people. Thirdly, I see many of my pastoral colleagues here. We must open our churches, continue to open our churches, our mosques and our temples, and say to those who are re-entering back into society that without God in your life, it will be very difficult to change in terms of a long-term change. Data has shown that when there is support for those who are re-entering in the community, specifically in the spiritual community, that the chances go down for them recidivating if there's a relationship with God or Allah or higher power, however you want to call it. But we know the power of legislation, the power of spirituality, and the power of a job. At the end of the day, if this passes, and I'm sure it will, then we must say to the governor, we want you to sign this, and then let's measure it. You will see that this legislation will make a difference, not only now, but in the future. Lastly, we should leave here with this mantra: education, not incarceration. Education, not incarceration. Everybody say it: education, not incarceration. Booker T. Washington said we must do three things. We must teach our children to use their heads to build intellectual capacity. We must teach them to use their hearts as a moral compass. And then we must teach them to use their hand to work and to earn a living. We look forward to the panel discussion. Thank you.
There's kiosk machines at the Howard R. Young Correctional Center, where when we go to put money for our loved ones there, and when J.J. Johnson talked about the families being affected, yes, we are being affected, because we have to go there and put money in the kiosk machines. And before our loved ones get the money, there is money that is deducted.
Representative Carter, let me just a second address Josie.
Yes, sir.
Josie, and everyone here, there's something in this country called the prison industrial complex. The prison industrial complex, where people are making millions and billions of dollars from the prison system. The kiosk, somebody made that kiosk.
Yes.
Somebody manufactured that kiosk, they're making money. The telephone calls, somebody's making money. The uniform, someone's making money. The food, the forks, the toilet paper, the shoes, the socks. You can invest on Wall Street tonight in the prison industrial system. So this is an economic issue that is embedded in the American psyche and culture that needs to be addressed. So people are making money in many ways.
Okay, can we do this, Josie? I'm gonna get them to address that with you one-on-one.